Is this thing on? Mic check, mic check.
So what are your opinions on immigration?
Immigration? Never really thought of it much, It's not like I live on the southern border in El Paso or anything like that. Have to deal with them Texans. That'd be crazy.
I'm not saying that all immigration is bad, but what does it do for the everyday citizen? All I see online is just that immigrants are coming around doing bad things, and I just don't know why it's something we should prioritize now.
Well, I guess immigration is interesting, sort of in the same way that skateboarding is interesting. Both of those worlds have something new that you can learn, but if you get into either of them too quickly, you're gonna crash and burn. So maybe I just need to feel this one out.
The idea we really need to be hitting on is that there is common ground for both sides. I don't think we can either just be gun-ho in either way. And with that being said, I think if we can find that common ground, bring both sides, it's very partisan, whatever, together, we will be able to find a solution that benefits all people.
Now that I think about it, I'm sure that there's a lot of people on campus who know a lot more about immigration than me and have had personal experience. I should go ask them about it. What is immigration in around one sentence?
People from another country going to a particular country using legal channels.
Okay. In 2023, the population of the United States was around 335 million people. Approximately how many illegal immigrants are there? A, 10,000, B, 100,000, C, 10 million, or D, 100 million?
Probably 10 million.
Okay. Cited by supporters of strong border control. Which of these is the most compelling to you? A, they're taking jobs from American citizens. B, increase in drugs and human trafficking. C, negative impacts on culture. Or D, none of these are major impacts. Keep the border open.
I would go with the, what was B? Was it the?
Drugs and human trafficking.
Yes, I would go with drugs and human trafficking. I think that's how they are impacting America the most.
Okay, thank you. And final question. Sorry. In last year, there were 1.2 million legal immigrants coming to the United States. With a green card, should the U.S. A, increase, B, decrease, or C, keep about the same, the amount of legal immigration?
I think we can keep about the same. I think if they do it legally, I think it's good for our country because that's some good stuff.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
One thing about immigration that never ceases to astound me is that people can't seem to separate the idea that there are illegal immigrants that potentially can cause harm to society, and there's a lot of downstream negative effects to their arrival, and then legal immigration and all the positive benefits that come with that. So especially within conservative circles, to me it's really interesting that there's this wholesale idea that immigration by itself is wrong, and that it brings, I guess, destruction of social fabric and some of those cultural community ties which bring people together. But I've always thought that it seems a little bit inaccurate and a little bit inconsistent with how culture has been shaped throughout American history. And so I just want to hear what your guys' thoughts are on kind of this whole idea of how immigration has come to affect US culture, whether negative or positive.
And I think the idea that immigration itself is bad for the U.S. culture is kind of throwing the baby out with the bathwater, because I understand the conservative desire for a homogenous culture, one that has assimilated, but there's also just so much beauty and richness to other cultures that they can bring when they come here, and when they come here legally, especially because the people who are coming here legally, they want to be here. And that's why, yes, it's a difficult process, and I can understand some argument that maybe it should become an easier process. But think about the stats, 1.2 million legal immigrants here last year. That's a lot of people bringing richness, bringing diversity, bringing a bunch of different amazing things to it.
I think the vast majority of illegal immigrants that come here to our country aren't coming here for the purposes of bringing drugs, bringing crime, bringing all the negative downstream effects that we mentioned, but they instead just sort of want to start their own family, have their own life, be able to pursue the American dream in a way that every other person coming to America has also dreamed of at one point. And so, when communities become homes for these immigrants, and when you realize that they've put down roots and they're established, members in their towns where they're growing up, their municipalities, and they have businesses and they have kids that go to school in these areas, you can't just uproot them and throw them out, right? And there's a certain point where they've contributed to the social fabric of community life in America, and that by itself should be a reason to look into alternative methods for accepting illegal immigrants and giving them advanced citizenship paths. Obviously it won't be easy, but seldom is the easy thing the right thing to do. And so I think we all can just sort of come to that agreement that immigration brings certainly beauty, like you mentioned, and just sort of this richness and it helps Americans to remember that we were formed by immigrants coming over, fleeing from either religious discrimination in Europe or just looking for new economic opportunities. And people from countries that or immigrants from other countries today are looking for the exact same things. And just keeping that idea in mind as we go forward and as we continue to just observe the immigration